Good morning and good afternoon to the guests joining from Asia Pacific region. Welcome to our webinar about the new generation of AVIOTEC flame and smoke detection camera. My name is Anna Balázs, and on behalf of both Security and Safety Systems, I would like to thank you for joining us. In the next 45 minutes, we would like to show you how AVIOTEC camera, thanks to the latest AI technology and deep learning methods, becomes the best, fastest, and more robust option for applications where traditional detectors might find limitations. Before we get started, let's quickly share some technical information. The session will be recorded and the recording will be available on YouTube for your later viewing. A link to the recording will be shared with the presentation in a few days. You can send in your questions during the webinar using the Q&A field, and we will answer them at the end of the session. We muted all audience lines in order to ensure the good audio quality. And now let me introduce our presenters today. We have Søren Wittmann, AVIOTEC Product Manager, and also Patricia Bogers, who is the Business Development Manager of AVIOTEC. And now I would like to give the presenter right first to Patricia.
My name is Patricia Bogers, Global Business Development Manager for AVIOTEC, video-based fire detection. And I am accompanied by Søren Wittmann, Product Manager for AVIOTEC, who is in the line now, but seems to face some technical issues. So let's see how it develops. Nevertheless, I would say we start, and we both are very happy to look forward to jump now together with you into the topic of AVIOTEC 8000 IIR, the next generation camera, which has been launched last month. So what do we want to discuss with you today? First of all, we start with an introduction of AVIOTEC 8000 IIR, its improvements in specification and performance, as well as the resulting benefits in the application. In the next step, we talk about requirements and limitations, which have to be considered when creating an AVIOTEC concept and installation. In the next chapter, we go deeper into the technology within AVIOTEC and give you insights into its working mechanism. After that, we will discuss use cases and applications in which AVIOTEC is predestined to be used. And last but not least, we will get some important information about the system overview. So let's start with the specification and benefits of product. With AVIOTEC 8000 IIR, we talk about an all-in-one solution. The camera comes with an integrated lens. The focal length of this motorized lens can be easily adapted by the lens wizard within the graphic user interface. Another integrated feature is the IR illuminator, which enables the camera to detect down to 0 lux. Moreover, it leads to the fact that no additional illuminator and its planning, backup, and power supply are required. Regarding the housing, the camera has the improved protection class IP67 now. This enables its operation in dusty and high humidity surroundings, as well as you will find it, for example, as you can imagine, in industrial production processes, and also opens the door for half-open and outdoor applications. Moreover, the camera now has 2 output relays, one for alarm and one for trouble, which makes AVIOTEC now connectable like a standard conventional fire detector. But the core and the heart of the camera is its new and improved artificial intelligent deep learning algorithms. Their concept and performance lead to a significantly improved detection performance. The new camera works faster, more robust, and more sensitive within the application. The next big improvement is the 4MP sensor, which creates a sharp best-in-class image quality of the scene. And as you can see here on the right, last but not least, we will also provide an additional planning tool, as you may already know it from the former AVIOTEC model. In first step, the updated Excel-based tool is provided On the website, in the second step, we plan to release a further improved and easy-to-use browser-based solution within the next month, which makes it easy to create the perfect AVIOTEC model and design. So now we talked about improved features, of which you can see the key facts in this overview again. The next generation AVIOTEC is empowered by its improved, sharp, reliable, and high-resolution video image, a significantly improved dynamic range, the possibility of detection in full darkness, and an easy and fast installation. The message here really is the one that we want to establish AVIOTEC as a well-known, improved, and established detector on the fire alarm market. In this context, it may be interesting to know that we work on several approvals like VDS certification as well as the EN54 for power supply compliance in connection with the FPP 3000. You will learn more about this connection option later in the presentation. So now we jump towards requirements and limitations, and let's check if Sören is connected to us.
So I hope you can understand me. So therefore, Patricia, would be great if you can switch to the next slide. So let's see what has changed also regarding AVIOTEC, what we all know from our former product. So now for the new AVIOTEC, we go down to 1 lux detection in color mode and 0 lux in monochrome mode. So as also Patricia said, a few minutes ago. So we have an integrated IR illuminator, which turns on if it is getting too dark. So therefore, we have a continuous detection from nighttime and daytime over the whole range of light illumination. So for smoke detection size and flame detection size, it stays at what you know. So we need 1.6% of picture width to detect smoke and 1.1% to detect flame in the image. Regarding the maximum dynamic factor, which is specified by the darkest and the brightest spot in the same image, we can now work up to factor 1000, which means even if you have a very dark environment with 1 lux at one point of the image, you can have 1000 lux at another position in the same image. And regarding vibrations for the camera, so you should avoid it. So as vibrations could lead to a movement blur in the image, and this might lead to non-detections in these cases. So therefore, it is good. So it is best to have a rugged installation there. Next slide, please. Okay, regarding smoke density, so what is AVIOTEC 8000 IIR capable? So we need smoke which is visible in the image. So now this means it could be even very, very thin smoke which we could detect. So with this approach, we could now even also detect smoke in the very early beginning phases of the fire. So which is a great improvement also regarding what you know in the market. Please, the next slide. Yeah, the detection distances, what I said, as the sizes we could detect in the image. So 1.6% for smoke, 1.1% for flame stays the same. The detection distances also stays the same, what we know from our former product. So therefore here for 50 centimeters flame, we could detect in 50 meters distance, and also 75 centimeters smoke, which is something round about what you face from the standard test fires according to EN54 standard. We could also detect in 50 meters distance. So 50 meter is the distance we could cover with the opening angle of the AVIOTEC. This table here shows you a little bit different opening angles, different fire sizes. What are the differences which could be covered by AVIOTEC? So then let's have a short look as how does it work So thinking about AVIOTEC, a video-based fire detection system, our intelligence is built in the camera itself. So we don't need additional servers to analyze the video footage. So the algorithms are in the camera. The camera has the relays, so alarm and trouble relay, and the camera decides if there is an alarm or not and triggers the alarm. So how does it work? So if we have an event somewhere in the field of view of the camera, a flame or smoke, so the camera analyzes the video footage itself in real time and decides by artificial intelligence with deep learning if there is a fire or not. If it detects the fire, it triggers the alarm via the relays. You could also connect, for example, video management systems to the camera to have these information transmitted via ONVIF, MQDT, and so on, to give the alarm to this video side of the detection. And you have also optional connections, for example, via cloud, which you can use to transmit the alarms and video footage to mobile devices. But later on, Patricia will give you an overview of the use cases, what can be done with AVIOTEC. So if we see the fire development, so there we can see we have two lines where we can work with. One side is the smoke development if we have a smoldering fire starting, and then at a certain point you will have a flame which breaks out. So these are the points where flame detectors can detect, or if the fire is spreading and developing so that the heat gathers below the ceiling, then a heat detector can detect. In regarding smoke detection, so normally the fastest detectors are the ASDs, aspiration smoke detectors, and then you have beam smoke detectors or point detectors which can be used. But also here, regarding the smoke detection, AVIOTEC is up to 3 times faster than aspiration smoke detectors in our fire test we did in our fire lab. So therefore, video-based fire detection is a very early indication. Now Patricia shows here the one of the videos from our fire lab. So the setting, so this is a TF2 test fire, so smoldering wood test fire with an illumination of 0 lux, so no visible light. So, and what you see is the illumination by the camera. And what you can also see is that we have a detection here, so at the left and at the right side. 2 different cameras in, one is mounted very low and the other one a little bit steeper from the upper corner from the fire lab. As you see, even if the smoke is not well visible with the human eye, AVIOTEC has already detected it. The settings we have used here for this test was the sensitivity of low in our fire detection and a verification time of 15 seconds. I guess this gives a good impression of what AVIOTEC is capable. Looking at the next slide, we can now go to the use cases and applications, but I guess, Patricia, this is your topic.
Thank you, Søren. We now have heard a lot about specifications and requirements and technology of the new AVIOTEC 8000 IIR. Now we should discuss where the camera can successfully be implemented based on its features and benefits. First of all, I would like to start with some general basics. We all know that there are 3 main objectives a fire detection system has to fulfill. It has to be fast, reliable, and robust. And all these 3 requirements at the same time, which makes it very challenging. In this context, current state-of-the-art fire and smoke detectors might not fit to every application. Given high ceilings, large semi-open or open spaces with possible dust and moisture, conventional fire detectors take too long time to identify the hazard. They need additional maintenance and cannot be installed in semi-open or open areas. So these are the limitations of conventional fire detection systems. Now, when it comes to AVIOTEC, with the improved new features, like the all-in-one solution, the improved video image, and the scenery to be processed, the robust IP67 housing, and the improved and stable algorithms, the camera works effectively in many different applications and scenarios. The new camera performs fast, customized, and reliable on-site in indoor and half-open spaces. Also at windy, dusty, humid, and steamy conditions, as well as demanding light scenes. Thus, key applications are those places where high fire load material is stored that can easily ignite and spread over the area, as well as at locations where overheating, breaks, or electricity can be a fire source. Thus, it perfectly fits to diverse industrial and manufacturing facilities like pulp and paper, food, textile, and automotive, and it also addresses applications in logistics and warehouses, shopping malls, hangars, train and metro stations, and energy premises. And additional to these indoor applications, we want to develop AVIOTEC with the improved features also towards outdoor applications, which opens the door for various further potential use cases like outdoor storage, parking spots, electrical car charging stations, and not to forget photovoltaic plants. Often AVIOTEC is the only solution in this context for smoke and fire detection that works in these challenging areas. We want to take the chance to develop and establish AVIOTEC as a well-known, customizable, innovative, and step-by-step certified and reliable solution on the fire detector market for all these applications. So here you can see a video which is showing the performance in full darkness. It is an industrial application with an incident, how it can happen with charging logistic vehicles. You see the view for human eyes in a second, and as well as this one from the perspective of the camera, like this one. It shows its detection performance even in demanding light scenes like this one down to 0 lux. Now, after the pre-alarm session, you will quickly see that the alarm is triggered by the red box. In the next video, you see a typical application within the warehouse industry, where AVIOTEC can perfectly serve the need of early smoke detection. In large open halls between corridors of high racks, where it is hard to smoothly run conventional fire detection system, the camera is able to detect fast and reliably, for example, this smoldering fire event that you see on site, so that countermeasures can be taken in time. Again, the red alarm box, and now the countermeasure can take place. So after these use cases and insights into possible applications for AVIOTEC, now we come to the already mentioned system overview of the camera. First of all, there are two options to program the camera. You can either set it up via a local network by browser or with the configuration manager, or you program it remotely via router and remote portal. In the next step, we want to give you an overview of how the output streams and signals of AVIOTEC can be connected and used as further triggers. First of all, you can connect the camera, as Sören has already mentioned before, to a network with different possible protocols via a network switch. The camera contains two SD ports for recording the video and metadata stream within the camera. You can also do a larger recording on an external storage space like DVAR or the BVMS. Via network connection, one can connect the camera output to a local control station where trained staff can verify the alarm output given by AVIOTEC and decide whether to activate further steps in the safety chain. The station is connected either via browser, BVMS, or video security. Another possibility is the wireless connection and alarm transmission via a router in the local network to desktop or mobile devices for further verification and monitoring. Moreover, you can connect the router to the remote portal, supporting further alarm transmission and verification in this way. These connection options have already been possible with the former version of the camera. What is new now with AVIOTEC 8000 IIR, it is possible to support the camera with FPP 3000 power supply, which further develops the camera towards a conventional fire detector. With the two relay outputs for alarm and trouble, the camera can also be connected to the AVIOTEC panel via interface module. The fire panel connection can also be used and combined with additional network verification for further alarm investigations and triggering. So in total, these are the different use cases to transmit, verify, and trigger further actions within the alarm chain based on AVIOTEC's output signals and streams. All these options are able to be used in parallel. It makes the system more customizable, directly linked to the needs and requirements on site. So with that, we come to the end of our webinar, and we hope we could give you an insight and understanding of the new AVIOTEC camera 8000 IIR, its technology, specification and benefits, and why it is perfectly for many different use cases and applications for superior customer specific fire protection. Feel free to ask further questions now, and we also appreciate your feedback that you can give us via this QR code, which will guide you to a Menti survey. So now we are open and ready for all of your questions.
Thank you very much, Patricia and Søren. And now, dear audience, it is the opportunity to ask our Bosch experts about specific AVIOTEC specific questions.
Okay, so there are also the first questions in our Q&A chat available. So let's go through them. So one question was, does it have EN54 approval? So no, it doesn't have EN54 approval, as there is no EN54 standard available for video-based fire detection so far. So therefore, it is here out of the scope of the EN54. But we are working on this. There was one question, so I guess it was regarding the video in the fire lab, which we have shown. So what the height has to do with the measure of smoke and flame width. The height has nothing to do in this opinion. So it was only to show the different installation positions, because in I guess in installations you would not install a camera in a height of 1 meter. So there higher installations, like we had in the right view of the camera, is the standard of how to install video-based fire detection cameras. So one question is here. What about approvals again for the system in a fire detection system? So also here, so we are working on the VDS certification again. So what I have already said is EN54 is not available. So therefore, we are here in these local regulations and standards AVIOTEC can be certified to. Yeah. So one question regarding the alarm and the relay output, if these are voltage-free contacts, so that they can be connected to standard fire panels. Yes, they are voltage-free, so you can connect it to standard fire panels here. One certification topic regarding BOSEC. So in Belgium, so it is not certified according to BOSEC so far. Can it be connected to any other fire detection system or fire alarm system? It can be connected. So as I said, via alarm and trouble relay, and depending on how you want to use it, so it's a conventional line, so with the relays. So you could also use here, for example, end of line and alarm resistors to which can be connected into the line so that you can adapt it to the need the fire panel has. If it would be feasible to have a same like on a PTZ camera, if it is feasible. This depends on the developers and on the algorithm itself. For sure, you can use or could use different cameras for video-based fire detection. And if it is a PTZ camera, there you have to define how the positioning of the camera has to be specified, how long you need for detection, and so on and so on. There are some topics you have to take into account, but in general, this would be a possibility. But we have these AVIOTEC camera as we have it here. Yeah. So one question, I guess it is regarding the video analytics in the camera. So if the video analytics can run in parallel with the fire and smoke detection for the new AVIOTEC. So currently there are the flame and smoke detection algorithms implemented, and no additional video analytics in parallel. So if there's one question, if there's a license you have to activate for the fire detection in the camera. No, if you buy an AVIOTEC camera, the flame and smoke detection algorithms are installed and working from the first startup of the camera. One very interesting question regarding the trouble signal. So what would trigger the trouble signal? So now it is depending what you can set up in the camera. So for example, you can set up if the image is too bright, so there you can set up a threshold value. If the image is too dark, you could set up a threshold value, and you could set up an additional reference image. With these three features, you could cover if the sensor is, for example, defect, if the lens is defect, if the illuminator is defect. You could monitor if the camera is tilted, or if it is occluded somewhere. You could detect if and if you set the trouble relay to normally closed and powered mode, so as we would do it also for standard fire detectors, you could also monitor if the camera lose power. Yeah, so therefore you could monitor the complete system with these functionalities, which could also all be linked to the trouble relay. If you want to use the relays, for sure you need a separate cabling. So for example, if you want to use a network cable only, so without additional cabling, then you could not use the alarm and trouble relay. There, for sure, you would connect it to a fire panel, and you would need a separate cable to your fire panel for these alarm and trouble contacts. So I guess one question regarding the fire panel. So if it can check if the camera is in service, I guess this I have answered with a trouble relay information, so that if you use the trouble output in normally closed and powered mode, you would also detect if the camera loses power, for example, so the relay will automatically open in this case. Yeah.
There is one question, if it's already available for sales. I think we can say a big yes to that. Starting from last month, the official sales release took place, which makes AVIOTEC 8000 IIR available globally. So here, please step in contact with your regional sales organization for further details and information.
So it's a nice abbreviation we got. So it would be great if you could write it in clear text so that I understand the question again.
And one additional information, maybe for the availability of information, you will find a bunch of information on our website now with the sales start of the new camera. Is it technical information, documentation like the mentioned planning tool data sheet, also some guidance regarding installation and topics to be considered when taking the camera into operation. You will find all these technical inputs on our website now as well.
So one question regarding replacement of smoke detectors under UK fire regulations. As I am not the expert in UK fire regulations, I could not answer this question here.
I can see another question. How do you recommend us to test the functions in the camera?
So how the smoke and fire detection shall be tested. So if you mean in the applications, it's depending on, these are interesting, let's say, these are interesting discussions also in the current code of practices, which are in development. So how this can be done and how a fire expert would it do. So thinking about the perspective of the fire perspective of the fire experts from your local certification bodies. So they would do real fire tests in the application. So this is what their approach would be. Thinking about what can or how to do it. So maybe for a yearly or quarterly test, so to see if the system is running. So without thinking about a test of the full coverage to see if everything and each corner of the complete application is monitored, because this should be done at the beginning. You could do it, for example, with the commissioning videos we are providing. So as it shows flame and smoke detection and can be shown to the camera via a monitor, for example. This is also one kind, one test method which is specified in the standards which are existing, thinking about VDS, for example, and international standards, that it is possible to use video recordings of fires to show them to the camera. So we are providing these videos so that they can be used in the daily work.
There's a question if the camera is available in UE. We can say yes to that question.
Yep. So then the question, the link for the technical information of the website. So I guess, Anna, when you provide the information, we could also share the link to the website and where all information can be found.
Exactly. Together with the presentation, all useful links will be included.
Yeah. So then a question regarding prices. We will not share the prices here in this webinar. Please contact your local sales responsible, so he will share the prices with you. I guess then we are through the questions, huh? Anna?
Yeah. Challenging questions, Søren, because we have received more than almost 30, I would say.
Yeah.
If we have missed any, because this is a really long list, we have your names and then we come back to you directly in private mails. So thank you very much, Søren and Patricia, for presenting the topic. We are very sorry for the technical difficulties we were facing today. I don't know if you have realized that we had some network issues. We appreciate your participation and engagement in our webinar. And as just said, in the next couple of days, we will share the presentation and the webinar recording with you, together with useful links, also links to the demo videos you have seen in the presentation. And if you have more questions or require additional information, please feel free to contact our Bosch team. Thank you very much for your time, and then we look forward to seeing you in our next sessions soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.